back, Leopard family. Today we're in the gym at Banks County High School, our beautiful facility, with Coach Steve Shedd, our girls basketball coach, and along with Mike Brown, once again, our assistant principal at the high school. Today we want to talk about our girls basketball program. Coach, I'd like to thank you for being here, and want to spend a little time today talking about this past season, from start to finish. Just give us an overview of this past season.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for interviewing me today and for spotlighting our athletic program and for putting the spotlight on our players. I really appreciate that. I want to start out by maybe bragging just a little bit on our entire basketball program, not just our girls program, but our boys program. I can tell you this right now that I can say this for a fact that we're one of the few programs in the state, not just Northeast Georgia, but I believe the state, that consistently year in, year out puts out a good program, boys and girls wise, and I've enjoyed working with you, Coach Cleveland, throughout the years. I appreciate that. I also want to thank all of our community sponsors, all those that sponsored us throughout the season. I want to thank our administration. I want to thank our Board of Education, Athletic Director Mike Cleveland, for all the support that we get throughout the season. Our entire athletic program won the Blitz Cup for two out of the last 3 years, and I think that is huge credit goes to our not only our school for focus on academics, but also focus that we put on athletics, and I think that speaks highly of that. And I also want to speak to our fans. We have, I feel like, the best fans in the state of Georgia.
Without a doubt.
They come in here and they pack the gym on home games. They pack the gym at away games. And, we couldn't ask for more than that, and the support that we get. And I also want to thank my coaching staff. I want to thank Tony Bowen, Amanda Greer, and Kim Carithers for all the hard work, commitment, and dedication they put into our program. Speaking of our season, I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish this season. We knew that we were losing 5 seniors going into the season, and we knew that was going to be, it's always tough to replace, and we're talking about 5 seniors that had contributed to a lot of success in the years prior to that. So we knew we had a good core of athletes coming back, but it wasn't a matter of whether we had good talent coming back. It was a matter of when all that talent was going to come together. And so thankfully for us, it came together at just the right time. You always hear that little cliche, you always want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season, and that's what we were doing. We knew that we had one of the toughest schedules probably in the state, really. I mean, if you go through Max Preps, you look at the strength of schedule, I think we were 1 or 2 in the state for the entire season. We were playing teams that were top 10 in their classification throughout the year. Jefferson, Stevens, Lumpkin, Putnam, Raven, Union. We ended the season with Vidalia, so a lot of tough competition this year. But if someone were to tell me, I always tell people this that ask me about the season, if someone were to tell me, you're going to go 15-16 on the season, you're going to go to the region championship game, and you're going to end up in the Sweet 16 in the state playoffs, I'd say I'll take that any day. And that's what happened this season, and we were very fortunate we went into the region tournament as the 5th seed, and we came out as the 2 seed going into the state playoffs.
Coach, talk about your upcoming freshmen. So we got your middle school pro, but just our upcoming classes. What does that look like going forward for Banks County High School next few years?
Absolutely, we're very encouraged and excited about what we've got coming up. We feel like it's always tough when you have to replace seniors. We're going to have to replace 3 seniors, very quality seniors. But we feel like we've got a good core of athletes coming back. We had 2 freshmen this year that got a tremendous amount of playing time, actually started several ball games for us this year, so that speaks well for our future. We feel like we've got some upcoming 8th graders that are not only going to be able to contribute to our JV program, but also going to contribute to our varsity program next year as well. We're hoping for that, and I think that speaks very highly of our middle school program that we have, that our middle school program is developing our talent and getting them ready for a tough transition, and taking a tough transition and making it into a smooth, seamless transition, so they can be ready to possibly play some varsity basketball next year. And so I give huge thanks to our middle school coaches, Kamen Brooks and Natasha Savage. So we're looking forward to next season.
Coach, I know you got losing 3 seniors, and I know at least a couple have an opportunity to play at the next level, correct? Maybe tell our fans who those girls are and where they're going.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of our seniors. We start out with, I'll talk a little bit about Sadie Simpson. Sadie Simpson was, she has had looks, and I mean this literally when I say this, she has literally had, I've had coaches contact me from the entire country about Sadie, from Alaska to New York. You know, Sadie has decided that she does not want to play basketball at the next level. She's 6'2", she's definitely capable of it, but she just wants to go on to college and continue her college career. And we all understand that, but we're very proud of Sadie. Polly Simpson will be going to play basketball at Brenau College, and Heather Vaughn will be going on to play at Piedmont College.
This has been a crazy year, particularly for our seniors, and we want to honor them a little bit. So we're going to step away from this camera. We're going to let you talk to them if you want to about them individually, and just what they meant to you individually, what they meant to our program, and what they meant to Banks County High School.
Absolutely. You know, to speak towards our seniors, and I know Coach Cleveland would agree with me on this, that the work that a basketball player puts into a program for 4 years, it's a tremendous amount of work. The work that they put in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, and then you start basketball season in October, and it doesn't end until February. So it's a huge commitment, and I just want to thank those seniors for their commitment over the 4 years to being in our program and to putting in the hard work and understanding what their role is on the team. I would also like to say that just speaking to each one individually, Sadie Simpson, probably one of the most improved ball players I've ever coached. I coached her back in middle school, and just to see how far she's come since her middle school days to where she is now, she's worked really, really hard to develop her inside game and become a physical presence underneath the basket, but also not just that, but also worked really hard to improve her range on the outside. Polly Simpson, one of the hardest working players I've ever coached. I don't know that I've ever coached a basketball player that loves basketball probably more than Polly does, maybe some as much, but never as more than her. She's a really hard worker. She's a physical presence underneath the basket, and you know, she also worked really hard to increase her range around the perimeter on the outside. So we're gonna miss her as well. And Heather Vaughn. Heather Vaughn, she scored 1,000 points in her career. We weren't fortunate enough to have her 4 years here at Banks County. We only had her here for 2 years. She moved here her junior year. Would have loved to have had her 4 years, but she's one of the best shooters and best ball handlers that I've ever coached. And you know, I'm just extremely proud of her. And just to speak to the seniors, just you know, overall, I want to thank them again for their dedication to our program, to the success of our program, and to leaving a great legacy, a great winning legacy behind. They're not only great students, but they're great people. And what we always say is you always have a place here in Banks County. We love you and we'll miss you. And we always say once a lady leopard, always a lady leopard. So thanks again.